Welcome back, lads and ladettes, to a absolutely stunning Saturday morning here. Sun's out, frosty morning, no cloud in the sky. What more can you ask for the start of August and a week into lambing basically? It's definitely the easiest, driest winter I've ever had here in New Zealand, and I've been here for 10 years. Might have had cracking autumns and good springs, but never as dry as a winter as this here now. She's been pretty kind to us, but we're kind of waiting for the worst, and I could say rain will probably come in springtime. If it doesn't, it'll have to come. It'll come sometime. It generally does, unless it's rained itself out last winter in spring, because BJ's how it was hard then. She was a wet one now, but she's cracking. She's some weather for lambing. Most of these girls will be lambed this week, and it's giving it like this here the whole week, so fingers crossed. They all lamb, or most of them, 90% of them lamb, so it's easy for them. Great weather for it. Anyway, thought we'd bring you along for another weekly update of what's happening here, lambing wise, and through the triplets and cattle and stuff like that. It's been a busy week, vaccinating. Busy week, manicuring, pedicuring, vaccinating, dagging, crutching the ewes, mixed age ewes and the tutus. I just dagged the tutus, didn't buck crutch them all because they were shorn over winter. So they didn't really need a crutching, but the rest of them do. And we're basically 95% through, just 3 and 4 year old singles to do on Monday. There's 160 there-ish, and then it's all done. They're ready for lambing basically, set stocked in the hills. Yeah, basically they'll be due in the end of this month sometime. Basically these will finish and they'll start, so but yeah, it's been a busy week with work, busy week with me too. But yeah, we're getting through it. But anyway, enough talking. I've got I've got 45 fat 4-year-olds in the back of the yard, or not the back of the yard, around the holding pens, just grazing. And I'll push them out here now, get the nuts, and then we'll go and see the triplets. Get in behind Jed. Get in behind Jed. Stay there, Jed. Stay there. Let me get the gate open first. Yeah, these are the fattest of the 4-year-olds. Get out of it, mouse! Get out of it, mouse! She's a heavy frost. Woo! Yeah. Basically the only fats out of the 320 ewes. The rest of them we've pulled. It's been obviously a hell of an autumn for stock, because or something, the grass is lacking in something or something, but I've basically got what have I got? 60 light 4-year-olds on the new grass. Because that's just pumping, and it's the 2 age groups of the triplets aren't going to keep up with them. There's only 120 of them. We had 150 over that side last year, and new grass is pumping. I've got the 60 fat 5-year-old twins on the new grass, grazing as well. I've got half of me light steers. There's half of the steers that we bought in summertime have not done. Half of them are on the flats here. I'm going to put 15 of them that I have in the mob that I drafted out last Saturday onto the new grass. Split them, kind of try and split them halfway, because we might ship them down to the flat farm, because there's that much tucker down there and it'll leave this place. I've got yeah, 22 of the other ones in Peacock Flat that I'll give a beagle to in the ring feeder, and all of them might go to the flat farm end of the month maybe. We'll see what happens. But yeah, basically I'm glad it's not wet, because I wouldn't be fit to survive if this was a wet winter like last year. I wouldn't be fit to survive with the amount of stock that we have in the flats here, or the way the stock have went this year, if it was last year. But saving grace, we've got new grasses absolutely pumping and we can do it. We've got less triplets this year, same amount for the 5-year-olds, but they're fine. They're actually held up more because the paddocks are dry. They generally have about 3 or 4 less in a couple of these wet paddocks last year, because they're too wet, they just don't grow, and lambing and stuff like that. But yeah, amazing winter, like, you know, what are we, first week into August, like, and it's like this here, spring weather the whole way through winter basically. You can't complain really, like. But yeah, basically everything's sorted up. We've the 4-year-olds we're looking after a bit more, because they're a month away from lambing, and now's the time to do it, because, you know, we want the best out of them for the lambs. And if they're condition score 1, 2, you kind of have to look after them a bit, and that's why I've pulled them out onto the flats in easy paddock with grass as well. Yeah, I'll probably get them in a few weeks time and ease them off again. I've got the back of the flats here that I can push them down to, that we probably will push them down to and just land them down here, because they're not going to survive in the hills, so we'll kind of have to look after them. Otherwise I'll be picking up a lot of carcasses, and yeah, we don't really want that. But yeah, that's just the way of it. Grass keeps growing. It's still sitting, soil temperature is still sitting about 10 degrees, 9 degrees, so ryegrass is still growing. New grass is absolutely pumping on the flats here, so I'd think the triplets, when we set stock them in 3 weeks time, I think the triplets are going to struggle to actually keep up, but there you go. Might have to dock them early and bring more other ones back in, or see what happens first. Different story once the lambs start eating too, when they're 2-3 weeks old and they're actually eating the grass, you'll soon see it disappear. But yeah, like I say, if it keeps going the way it is, but we're kind of hesitant that we know it's going to come wet sometime, and we can guarantee you Murphy's Law, because Murphy's an ass. It'll come probably in springtime when we need the good weather to come. But not much you can do. Like I say, I've got mates in the Waikato who are dairy farming, and they're pugging up ground, basically brown, because it's so wet. It hasn't stopped raining up there, but down here, glorious day, like. So and they're 4 hours north of me, like, so doesn't take much for it to change either, so it doesn't. Anyway, enough talking, we'll carry on. We'll lock these girls in their paddock here, and then get the nuts behind me. And yeah, the frost is lifted, so we'll go do our rounds and see what's been happening overnight down here. Cold night, fresh lambs, pretty hard. Good days like this, if they can survive the night, then they'll do well today. But yeah, we'll see. There you go, fresh out of the oven this morning. 3 good looking lambs. Good to see. They use mad looking in their treats too. The young one's enjoying the sunshine. These girls are still pretty happy. 63 3-year-old triplets. There's plenty of grass. Plenty of grass in the new grasses. Keep them going for a while. They're onto the nuts. Worked quite well hauling them up in the holding paddock over there over last weekend, because basically, I want to say most of them, all of them are onto the nuts. You just have to round them up still the odd time, but give it a week or so coming to the trough and they'll soon get on it, but you soon know the ones who are desperate for it. And then yeah, 4-year-olds the same. Held them up in the yards overnight, and yeah, they took on it no bother. You just have to round them up too, but some of them just love mornings like this. Lovely and peaceful. And enjoyable to have a bit of heat in your back too, because you know that the lambs are going to be thriving like mad. And hearing all the birds chirp and stuff like that. That's nature, beauty at its best. So it is, I think. Good for the soul. Hey girlies, you enjoying yourselves? This one here is an absolute pain because she follows you around. Even with nuts in the trough, she follows you around looking more. She's a 4, she's carrying 4. Aren't you? But yeah, I was saying to the boss that I'm nearly sure this age group here are the same ones that we fed nuts to as hoggets during mating, just before mating. We're trying that to see if that would make a difference for scanning. Haven't done it for the last couple of years because it just between me being home and then going on holidays and the price of things and stuff like that. We're finding that the triplet nuts are better, but yeah, triplet nuts are better money spent. So it is compared to the last year. Definitely, it definitely kept them going for a wet winter. But yeah, so I was quite surprised how easy these got on. But I think that's probably why, because I'm nearly sure this is the age group that we fed the nuts to 3 years ago, on mating, to try and get the scanning results up more. But that's the only thing I can put it down to. I'd have to go back in the records, but I'm nearly sure that was then. Because the following year I went home for the months and the boss man didn't want to come up every day to do it. And last year it was too wet too, and then the price fell out of stuff and all the rest, so yeah. But we didn't really need it this year because the hogget scanning went pretty good, so yeah. It's basically if you can keep them fed and keep them thriving, then it makes a big difference too. But breeding too, their fertility in these ewes are unbelievable. Like when you get so many triplets last year, that's 30% of your flock triplets last year. Like the fertility in this flock is just sky high. Like, but when you get that, then we're getting the bad feet and stuff like that. A lot of, not bad feet, but just a lot of overgrown toes and curly toes and stuff like that. I'll put a couple of pictures in of ones that I did yesterday, and they were just unbelievable. Every single foot, like every single toe. There was a few of them yesterday now, so there was. Takes good sharp clippers to get through them, so they were. But yeah, these are getting impatient. Well, I'll get the nuts out to them. Safe talking. Hey! Size of these 3 here, I'd say they were born this time last week. Now they're thriving like mad. You take the good weather there, that one in sucking, seems like a size of a twin. Look at them, 3 equal sized ones. Happy as could be. Staying at home, happy as Larry. Amazing how quick they can grow when they come out. But they've got plenty of milk and good weather and all the good stuff. Yeah, you're getting impatient. I know yous are. These ones are going to run me over sometime if I do it. Even that one there was born 3 days ago. She lost 2 lambs. And that wee lammy's thriving, being a mummy. But it actually, touch wood, not too bad. A right few sets of triplets coming. 2 sets there, a few over there, a couple over there. I generally, because these are meal hungry and they'll follow me, no bother, I'd try and get as close to the lambed ones as I can. Put the nuts down, because if they want to come, like you take this one here, she's coming for it. Yeah, just saves the lambs, out of the sun, saves the lambs trying to catch up with mummy, because some of them do run away from the lambs and then come back to the lambs and blah 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 and all the rest. But I don't worry about the newborns, because ewes generally tend to stay with them, because if they're good mothers they will anyway. But you take lambs born a day old, tops 2 days old, and the ewes want the nuts, they will go and the lambs will follow, because they're old enough and they know that the lambs will follow. So yeah, it's just amazing to see, like 2 days old and the lambs are skipping and running behind mommy to keep up to come to the nuts. So I kind of go to where the lambs are if I can, because it just saves a bit of mucking around with them and maybe, you know, miss mother and stuff like that. But the rest of them, as you can see, have come from the gateway back up again. So yeah, it is definitely an easy way of checking ewes, feeding them nuts, because you can see their backside's pretty easy. The only issue is when you go in the evening time to check them again, they're following you rather than a lot of bang going over the way. But yeah, evening time you go in, you're not feeding nuts, they're running after you like what they are now to feed them, and it's harder to see their backsides to see if there's any stuck lambs or whatever, because yeah, they won't run away from you, they're coming to you, so all they see is their heads. But yeah, they're you just sort of have to be well, I basically say if they're running after me like that, they obviously don't have a problem. So if they've got a breech lamb, they're generally out by themselves, and you can kind of see it before you go into the paddock, glance over and see what's happening, kind of thing. And yeah, you kind of know 9 times out of 10 where the problem ones are. So. But yeah, these are very impatient, aren't you? Very impatient. But better not tie them up any longer, otherwise I might get the sack from them. They might look for a new chef. These ones are getting fed on the ground too. I've only got 8 troughs, and they're in with the mixed age because of longer grass. These know what it is now, so they're happy just to munch it on the ground. Does no harm. They'll lap it all up anyway. I did that last year with them too, with the grain feeder itself, but I'm only feeding 2 bags out, so it's not really worth putting that on. Yeah, well, there's mommy in with the lambs. I'll go round the rest of them up before these eat the rest of it. There's mommy there, we were looking at the fence. The strapping lambs, she's been following me around. I've just been checking a couple of the newborns. New set there, and one behind this ewe here. Yeah, she's been following me around with the lambs. Cracking lambs, hey. I'd say there's some goodness in the milk as well, feeding nuts. That's what it's meant to be like. Feed them before lambing, so the lambs are a bit bigger, and then the milk, she's looking them too. Slowly come on. It's pretty quiet this morning. Hasn't been that many newborns yet, apart from a couple there. One over in that number 4 there with them. See, they're mad looking more, so they're coming to the fence. That's alright. I won't hold you up any longer, alright? Now, that's the ewe there that was sick of lambing yesterday morning and was trying to follow lambs around. And she's looking to come to the meal with leaving her lambs. So she might be a good mother, but I don't think she's that great of a mother if she's doing that. Leaving 2 wee lambs behind there. Hopefully she will come back to them, but I'll just have to keep an eye on them. But a few of them obviously don't really care. They're obviously full enough, but yeah. And I actually think that lamb that's fallen there is the one from another one too. Joys of dealing with sheep, eh? There's not much you can do about it. Yeah, unless I took her inside and lambed her and stuff like that, but I'm trying not to because it's not really what you do over here. And then you stress them out even more, put them on the bike and so on and so on. But yeah, just keep an eye on them and that's it. Good weather, fine days, smaller paddocks. They will find them. Like she should go back to them. I'll just keep an eye on them, and if not, then I'll push her back. Or else grab the lambs and put them in the centre of the paddock where the mob is, and hopefully they'll bleat out to her. But if there's a weak one, I might pull her out because it probably won't matter. And yeah, see what happens. But anyway, there's 2 lying here sleeping. There's one here that's realised that Mummy's gone over there, and yeah, we'll carry on before we disturb them anymore. Making new friends, mixing around. Size of those bruisers. Well, that's a pretty harmless morning. No dead lambs, nothing to lamb. All pretty happy and content. The 2 that was over by the fence in number 2, I went to checking them just to make sure. They're full bellies, and then they decided to try and follow me, so I picked them up and chucked them over beside the mob where they're waiting. There's one real toady one I'll just keep an eye on. As long as it's got a full belly, it should be fine, but you just never know. But yeah, basically, obviously a fresh one from last night over there, and then one from this morning there. Yeah, this is the last of these. Still have to check the twins, go through the twins and stuff, but I'd like to get the nuts out first before them. But they've been, touch wood, they've been pretty easy too, so they have been. Like I say, the weather makes a hell of a difference for lambing. Less troubles, basically lambing wise, less troubles for lambs as well. They can survive a lot better because they've got the heat on their back. Like, might be cold at night time, but yeah, as long as they get a suck, they're generally thriving. Now, these hungry ones behind me here, looking for it. But yeah, we'll carry on. Morning's getting on. Want to chuck a couple of shift the kettle in the new grass. Feed a baleage to peacock. Take one up to hilltop, I think, when it's dry, and try and preserve some grass in the hills there for them, because it's easy to get to. And yeah, go through these, and then that'll be my morning done. So there was something else too, I can't remember what. I had a list in my head of what to do today. Yeah, you can just watch wee lambs playing. No bother, they're just so graceful, aren't they? Cute looking, as you say, with their ears out. Especially with the sun beaming down them. So good to see. There you go. Right. Get on to the next jobs. Stop procrastinating. Down, boys. Walk up. Well, go, Max. Walk up. Right, easy. Give them time. 15 in this mob, so I think I'll just split them here. Take 8 and the 7, and be easier than trying to split them in the laneways as well. But yeah, at least they're a bit fuller now than what they were came out of the hills, I suppose. Give them time. You've been fighting. That'll do. Max, get up here, Max. Give them time. Actually got 9 now. One's just come past through the dogs. Obviously didn't want to be left behind. He's like, my mates are gone. That's alright. I could probably leave one of these behind now. But yeah, they're pretty dire looking, but they've had a drench twice since they've been here and still can't perform well. They're just getting soft, I think. Yeah. That'll do! Leave one behind. Well, I go! Leave one behind. That's it now again. Better give them time. I'll get in front of them now. Right, stay there! Stay there! Stay there! Stay there! Stay there! Stay there! Easy peasy. I think this opens up enough. Beauty. Walk up. Easy. Easy, Max. Easy, that'll do. Stay there. Stay there. Stay there. Good boy, walk up. Stay there. Got. Stay there. Stay there. Stay there, Max. Good boy. Good boys. Oh well, that'll keep them happy, hopefully. Put on a bit of weight for a month. Easy! Take it easy! Good boys. Take it easy! That'll do. Stay there. Stay there. Good boy. Trying to get Max to go on command so he's not as hard, so I have more stop on him. He's getting better. I'm using him a bit more, so which is good to see. Otherwise, it's just too hard. It's just eager to work, basically. Jed used to be the same, but he's got older and lazy and all the rest. He can be still strong if he wants to be, but Murphy's Law, when you want him to be, he doesn't be, and when you don't want him to be, he does be, so. That'll do! That'll do! They're going! Good boys. But yeah. Just look after them, push them along. Because I want them going next year, so I have to look after them. Stay there, Jed. Stay there, Jed. That's it. That'll do, Jed. That'll do, Jed. Just let them get a breather. They mix up with their other mate. That'll do them. Mouse! But yeah, doing the world of good to be in the new grass at all. But yeah, half the battle, half the reason why we're going into cows is because this last number of years we've been getting the same steers from the same person this last number of years, and yeah, they just seem to be getting worse and worse every year. They're grand when you get them. We're getting them heavier and heavier every year because we're thinking that they'll survive better on the hills. We got them as 440s, I think, this year nearly. They're heaviest we've ever had them. Generally it's 400s. And yeah, they just went backwards. They're calved up, I want to say, the back of Tie Happy to National Park, so it's hard, steep country, hardy cattle. Wind down onto the flats, but I don't know, half an hour away, 40 minutes away from here. And yeah, obviously come down to the flats, being brake fenced for a year, coming back to the hills just isn't working. Obviously they just get soft. I don't know, they just can't handle the hills for some reason, and our hills aren't that bad compared to some places too, like, so. And they're not eating the roughage. When they're hungry, they'll just rather starve and go backwards rather than actually eat the roughage, which would still be quite good for them. Hence why we're going for cows, because yeah, the cows are actually cleaning up the hills, something nice. Take a couple of years because there's that much roughage up there, but we're getting them in because steers aren't doing the job. But yeah, we'll probably double the cattle size to 120, lower the flock number to about 1500 is what we're thinking, to ease it off in the hills a bit. And yeah, means that we'll have more room in the flats too to have the heifers as well. And yeah, we're kind of toying up about maybe a direct drill to put cheap grass seed, basically McC-TheUlsterKiwi probably, into paddocks that aren't performing, because there's a lot of wet paddocks that revert back to native grass after a couple of years of being cropped, and I've basically toying up with the idea of getting one of those so we can stitch in new grass in springtime or autumn time, whatever, and hopefully it will be better performing paddocks for winter time, and you know, all the rest. So we're not having to crop those paddocks sooner, and these ones that actually stay well, you know, pushing them out with you know, for the soil stability and stuff like that. We're trying to get 6-year rotation, but yeah, some of these paddocks that revert back to native grass, you could be doing it every 3 years if you really wanted, and I don't really want that, because then your soil structure will be disintegrating, and that's why we're thinking of that. Plus the other farm too, we found if we can put McC-TheUlsterKiwi into the plantain clover in autumn time, it'll actually perform over winter, and we can hold a bit more stock over there, and it'll save being under pressure. We put McC-TheUlsterKiwi, 5 kilos of McC-TheUlsterKiwi into a 20 kilo bag of plantain clover mix for 2 paddocks of the late planted stuff on the flat farm, and yeah, that's pumping. That is pumping. That's taken off, so we're basically thinking of doing that every year if we can. Spray it out in springtime, so it doesn't take over, because McC-TheUlsterKiwi will, and smother the clover, and it's the clover we want to fatten the lambs on. But yeah, basically use it for winter feed, and I think would be pretty good. Have heard of other boys doing it, so it'll be good to try it in ours. Basically the stuff that I do here will just stitch probably every year. Well, see how it goes for the year. I can stitch it again in if I need to the following year, just to keep the paddocks performing, so we can keep the round lengthened out. And if we go down in sheep numbers, we get nearly lengthened out too, because we'll be doing less acres a year to put the turnips in for the hog and lambs, if you know what I mean. And then we have the option of, if it's a wet spring or we're under that much pressure, we can stitch the where's my train of thought? We can stitch the summer turnip seed in as well, rather than turning the whole ground over. We could do that if we're running out of time. That's the whole plan of it. I know it's just, yeah, it's basically a one-man job to do it, rather than 3 jobs of disking, power harrow and then seeding. You're just down to one. But we've found that stitching it, you don't get the same results. You're probably 60% strike, while with us we're 80%, and on a bad growing year you're glad of it, and a good growing year you've got bulbs and leaves, turnips coming out of your ears that you're basically, yeah, trying to get stock to graze it. But yeah, that's what we're thinking. We'll soon find out if we do, but that's, yeah, we're just trying to find the right one to go look at that's close and handy as well. That's actually gonna, that's not gonna cost us money, because we can get cheap ones, but we were talking yesterday about it, and we were saying a young one, fresh one would be better than an old one, because we could see us doing a couple of 100 acres a year very easily to do it. Really, Scooby? Look at him pushing his way in. What do you want? Yeah, I know you've done a good job and you're listening for once. Yeah. He's enjoying the sunshine too. Yeah. Dogs all around me. Oh, mouse, no, Mousie's gone. Really? You like to get into your personal space, don't you? You just want the cuddles. Yeah, Jed, I won't leave you out either. You've done a good job too. Right, you ready to put these cattle away? Yeah? And then enjoy your day in the orchard? Because that's all the stock work done pretty much. Yeah. Now, carry on. We'll get these in. They're basically, well, they're halfway up the other paddock, so we'll get them in now. Scooby! That's just a bit too far. Yeah. I can guarantee if you were a backdoor dog, you'd be on your back on the couch if the door was open, wouldn't you be? Pretend to be a pet. You would be. Yeah, I know you would. You're just like a Labrador in a hunt away body, aren't you? Yeah. You're a big suck. You're a big suck. You don't like being told off. But it's the reasons that you get told off, because you bolt, because you're so excited. Yeah. And one eggs the other on. And you just can't control yourself. Yeah. Right. Carry on. Now, gate is open. Will they actually find it and go through? Will be the question. Really, Scooby? No. No. Stop. Oh, that's an easy turn, isn't it? Just what you want. See if you're doing a job. Look at this. Look at this. Really? Really? You're turning the big suck too, are you? Yeah, get down. Getting me dirty in me nice clean clothes. Look at this. You big sucks. Right. That's the mustard done, so hop on the tractor now and get a couple of bales out. Gonna make it! Oh yeah. Yeah, so these the other ones that we pulled out. I don't know, a while ago. They're looking pretty good. It's got a bit of a shine, still got a bit to go, but there's definitely two different types of them. You could draft out the worst ones. The likes of that behind the tyre there. Could be grand, one beside it. And yeah, they've done definitely a lot better than what they are. Still a few ones, but they're under the baleage. They're eating nice fresh grass. Like I say, what more can you do? They've had to drench these ones too, or pour on, back when I drafted them out. And yeah, nice dry spot for the bale feeder. They're making a wee bit of a mess, but it's the driest part of the paddock, and basically such a dry winter, I wouldn't be doing this either. I would have shifted it, but yeah, it's pretty good for them. It's definitely better with a bale feeder where it is compared to some of the places that you see down in Southland where they're feeding crops and they're up to their bellies in dirt. So but yeah, better get the net off because they're mad for it. Hey boy. No, too much. Now, happy boys now. I'll do them for about a week. So it will. And this is a paddock that I would not be driving over if it was this time last year. I couldn't get the bike across here, let alone the tractor, so big difference. Big difference. Happy boys. Is that alright there, boys? You shouldn't be looking silage now because you just have a paddock full of grass. Aye. That's the singles there. These are the light ones. They've actually picked up quite a bit. They'll be coming in on Monday to get their nails clipped and a Brazilian and vaccinated, and then yeah, we'll decide what to do with them then. They're generally in the river paddock grazing, but because we made it in it, there wasn't much grass there. There's actually quite a bit of nice fresh stuff in there, so we'll see what they're like when I put them back in there again. Yeah, they're a month away from lambing. They're slightly stocked in there. But yeah, we'll decide on Monday where to put them. Either keep them there for another couple of weeks, then push them out to the river paddock or whatever. We'll find out. They're looking their silage too. Yeah. Alright, we'll get this ring feeder up to the top of the driveway with the bale on, and yeah, that'll be my morning over. So we're here now, top of the driveway. Getting over there somewhere where they're looking at me. Just trying to decide where to put the feeder. I had it down here 2-3 years ago. Granted when it's dry, take it down in there. Oh, kettle are running. Better be quick. Had it up beside the trough on the ridge. Last year, when it was dry, got mess, a wee bit of a mess. Then I had it over in the gully there. Oh, that's a good place when it is wet because it's dry there. Would potentially like to get it on top of the knob, but I can't really get up there. Could get up there when it's dry, and it's wet. It's a bit dodgy. I need to get a bit of a track across the side of the hill. Where is it here? I just need to get the digger there to widen it more of a bike track, or else take this fence out and move it, so then I can just go up the fence line. Hey, easy way. But yeah, kind of decide where to do it. I might chance my arm down here, saying it's going to be wet for the next week and a half. Good place for it. They can see it. It's not too far away from the trough. Yeah, still get the bank down there if I need to get the bale feeder, to get the ring feeder out, move it somewhere else. Easier with the tractor, but bike feeder can do the same deal. But yeah, I'll. Oh, they're taking over the brow of the hill here. I don't know if you can see it. Still over the top. Fence line. See years. Yeah, I'll get at this and get it going. Obviously, well, some of these know what silage is from summertime, some of them don't. So I'm sure because we mixed them about, there should be a few in amongst them. I can see them there just in the fence line. So yeah, I'd say they get on there quickly. And this village here's 3-year-old. Beautiful lad. Yes, boy. And they're waiting patiently for it. Hey, boys. Nice weekend treat for you. Did you? I wanted to leave the wrap on because if you flick through the videos, you will see why. And I didn't really want to chance it again. First time I was taking this over the basin, I took the wrap off, bale feeder on, that on, and next thing she just went boop. That was 2 years ago, I think. Or maybe last year. Can't remember. But yeah, still nice stuff. Jakers, oh, that's toppings of native grass down on the back of the farm, flat beside the river, that always has very high eczema in summertime. And we grazed it out. And yeah, that was the toppings. Made 50 bales, I think, of it. Something like that. Basically mowed it one day, topped it the next day, and that was it. Good winter feed. There was a lot of Kellys in it too, that paddock, before we cropped it last year, 2 years ago. And yeah, she still quite surprised how there's a bit of dampness there. She smells like I had nearly ate it. And yeah, it's quite good stuff actually. You boys are going to love it. But yeah, just setting this out because it's dry, and it'll, if they fill up on that there, it'll prolong the grass in the hills, I suppose. It's an easy paddock to get to. Last time I was in here 3 years ago, I had the rammer in the back, so I had balance to reverse back up. Until a mate of mine, we had the 140 up here because that was fencing, I think, somewhere on the hill somewhere. And the 140 had no balance in the back, and we nearly got stuck. Got stuck, had to get the digger up to pull it out. But it was no problem. It was just a bit hairy because it was wet. But it was sitting in here right enough the last time. I've moved it back here. I could have moved it up to there nearly, but it's nearly getting too close to the hillside. But yeah, dry weather, no bother to you. And yeah, they will absolutely love this here. So they will. And yeah, hopefully Hopefully little Johnny will crawl out. Yeah, well, he's going for it. Now, see if we can get out of here. Watch out, please. Brum, 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 brum. Whee! No bother to little Johnny. Little Johnny's a fine wee boy. You definitely know the ones who have had bailage before and the ones who haven't. They're sort of a bit standish office, wondering what it is. You can definitely tell. But it'll be good for them, fill them up. It's quite good stuff. The kettle last year did quite well on it. And the year before when I was feeding it to them, they were loving it. They had a right shine on them, so it'll be good for them. And yeah, that's my morning over basically. I think it's nearly lunchtime now, so she will do. It was a bit late because of the frost, so I wasn't going to go out when it's cold and frosty. But you just kill the grass when you start driving over stuff and all the rest. But yeah, I say I'm very happy campers down there. And yeah, I will. I'm going to go home and have a spot to eat, and then I got myself a little present this week for the workshop, so I'll be like a kid in a candy shop opening that up over today, this afternoon. Alright, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoy this one, and yeah, we'll catch you the next one. Oh, don't tell the wife about the present. She doesn't know. But no doubt she'll find out.